Hello there, welcome to Get Started with Anodised Aluminium. There's a massive buzz in Jewellery Maker Towers today because it is such an exciting brand new concept. If you want to create something that looks a little bit like this, you could do it. It's a brand new, never seen before concept here at Jewellery Maker. Super, uber exciting. You can incorporate your gemstones into this system. We've got the fabulous Cherry here to talk us through this incredible system. Cherry, I was just having a little chat. Hello, first of all.
Hello.
Hello, my lovely. Now, we're so excited. Claire and I have already had a scrap over this piece of jewellery that I'm wearing right now. This is a concept. I saw it first, actually, Claire. We'll get into that afterwards. This is a concept I've never seen, and both Claire and I actually, I'd wear that. We've already placed orders with Cherry straight away. Yeah. Both of us have. This is amazing, Cherry.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. I haven't been this excited since I don't know when. It's the most exciting thing I think that's ever happened to me.
But as you know, do you know what, Cherry? As far as design is concerned, we are way out there with this system, aren't we?
We really are, yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit, yes. Whatever your imagination comes up with, wherever it takes you.
And I said to you before the show, because I'm looking at all these incredible elaborate patterns, do I need to be artistic? Because I can see that on your jewellery, and this is what, I said, hang on a minute, wait a minute, Cherry. Because I know there are pens and things involved, I'll talk you through the whatnots in the warehouse in just a sec. Do I need to be artistic to be able to do this?
You don't need to be, no. It's great if you are, because it's a brilliant outlet for crafty people, but you don't need to be, not at all. You don't need to do anything freehand.
Yeah, this is the key thing, because I know you've drawn yours freehand on the jewellery you're wearing. On the one that I'm wearing, it's a stamp, is it?
Yes, yeah.
So actually I could create this look with a stamp.
Absolutely.
That's what appeals to, I'll be honest with you, I'm not the most artistic, but I like to have a little bit of a sketch. Yeah. Otherwise I'm not brilliant with patterns and things like that, so I would always lean towards a stamp, whereas you are amazingly talented at art. This is where, this is your background, your design background, so you're all naturally quite good at stuff, well, very outstanding at things like that. So you don't have to be artistic, but if you are artistic, this will take you down different avenues. But it's about creating very modern, very stylish, very expensive, designer-looking jewellery in this Get Started kit. It's a system we've never, ever, ever seen here at Jewellery Maker before, and to say that there is a big buzz of excitement is a major, major understatement. Let's get on to the starter kit. Now, what do you get? Now, there are two starter kits, and I was just having a little chat with it, and I said, hang on a minute, why don't we put these two together? Why haven't we got one big kit? There's a major reason for that, because the tools that I'm about to show you, you will only ever need to buy once. You have got with your, now I'll talk you through all of the system, not me personally, Cherry, will talk you through all of the system, but you will need to grab this. If you've never ever used your anodized aluminium, you will need all of these elements to get started. Let's take a look at the tools. You get your clamping tool with it's called a German style saw frame, and you've got that with the clamp. Is this called the anvil, this one here? Yes. This is your anvil. Yeah. This is your bench pin combination anvil.
That's right.
Okay. And what's this little block for, Cherry? What do you use that for?
I'll show you exactly how to use all these tools as we go on, but that's basically for holding your aluminium onto whilst you're sawing it.
Okay, so this is your clamp, and then you've got what looks like a drill bit here, but it's not, it's your saw blades. So you've got that there too. Now you've also got your 12 needle file set. Cherry's going to talk us through all of this. I don't know how you do it either. Now if you want to saw cut gemstones, Cherry, so you've got your needles there. Am I presuming that you saw cut?
Yes.
With this little baby here, and you put this tool in the middle, is that correct?
Those are your spare saw blades, yes, and the saw blades fit into your saw, yeah.
Okie dokes. Then, what if I want to put a hole in the jewellery? And I was asking you earlier, because I put this cuff on and I said, what about if I want to put a hole in it and put a chain there just to make it really secure? I could do that, couldn't I?
You can do that so easily. It's the most fantastic tool, that one, I've ever used. It's so easy.
It must be so strong to cut through.
It is, but
it's metal.
It's so easy to use, you won't believe it.
So that's your professional hole punch tool, which, because I'd imagine you have to really put some brute force into that.
Not at all, no.
You don't? You really don't?
You really,
really simple.
don't. Really simple.
Fabulous. Then you've got your brand new tool. Have a look at this, this is your precision tool. They do look a little bit like Guardian secateurs. But these are your metal and wire shears. Now these are uber strong.
Yes, they are.
They will cut through sheet metal.
Yes.
They will cut through. I had a little play with these earlier. Obviously, they cut paper like it's butter, but really, really strong. They will also cut your memory wire for you.
Yeah, yeah.
You can use them for that. You get 2 different widths. You get the, well, you can see here there's a large hand and a small hand, and what that does, it's the 2 different widths.
Yeah.
Why would we need 2 different widths?
Well, you'll see when I show you how to use them that depending on the size of the piece of aluminium that you're cutting your straight line with, you may need to open them up further if you want a longer reach on them, basically.
Now they've got that non-slip grip on them as well, so if you're really working in, you know when you're working in intense and you get hot and you're really concentrating, that extra grip on the handles is a godsend, because you know it's never going to slip out of your hand no matter how sweaty your grip gets. And we do know when you work hard that does happen. So you've got everything you need here. In terms of tools, the kit code that you need is PNG C04. This is your starter toolkit. Get yourself involved. 0800 644 655. 0800 644 655. You can shop online, all the W's.JewelleryMaker.com. £49.95. I'm going to give you the rest of the elements of the kit. Now, the reason we didn't put it all together, as I said, is because you only need to buy these tools once. And if we bought it as a whole starter kit, with the bits that need replenishing, you know, you'd have to keep buying the tools separately. It wouldn't make any sense to you. £49.95 is your price tag. Well done to everybody that's already got theirs. What a great introduction this is to a brand new concept, something that we've never seen before, something that's going to lift our design, something that's going to get us excited again. Because Cherry, you know, when you've been jewellery making for a long time and you're doing the same sort of systems all the time, you're looking for the next thing, aren't you, to excite you, to whet your appetite.
And inspire you and just let your imagination run riot, really.
And I love the jewellery that you've created.
Thank you.
We're so excited. We've got a workshop going on next door and all of the ladies have been over asking, what's the price tag, what's the price tag? You know what? We are going to be able to create some amazing jewellery, some outstanding jewellery. Now, Cherry's put this kit together for you. Cherry, we were chatting before the show and you've been researching brand new concepts that are beginning to take the world by storm in the design world now. So we're getting these first-hand before they get out there onto the catwalk.
We really are. And I have to say that the tools we've been able to source in the starter kit are absolutely fantastic quality. They really are. It's fabulous.
I can vouch for that because I've just been through, and actually the cutters on their own we had in the day show, and they were $14.95. You know, these are quality pieces, and it's important, Cherry, when you're using this aluminium sheet, the tools need to be of a certain standard to achieve the results, just like the results that you see here in front of you. We're talking about creating your own pendants. We're talking about creating your own big, elaborate pieces of jewellery. When you have a look at these earrings, you've spiralled the aluminium.
Yes.
Was that something that was difficult to do?
Actually, no, it's not difficult to do. You can form the aluminium once it's been coloured and sealed. It's quite easy to form because it's really not actually that thick. So it's quite easy to work with. and using just everyday household objects, which I'll show you. Everyone's got a rolling pin, everyone's got a pencil, and those are just everyday household objects that I've used to help form the jewellery.
Of course, as always, interspersing that with your techniques that you've already got. So you're using gizmo coils here, you're coupling gemstones with that and this system. So you're still, and this is the great thing about jewellery making, you don't have to stick to one technique. You're putting all these techniques and you're blending them into lots of different pieces. Of course, you're going to get the odd piece that just incorporates your anodized aluminium. Now this really is, these earrings are incredible. They're like cocoons.
Little seed pods.
Yeah, they're seed pods. They're gorgeous. Have a look at this gizmo work with the pendant. I mean, it's just outstanding. There's no way you'd think that you could create that, is there? But you can.
You can just go wild with your imagination, and you can use it in incorporation with lots and lots of other techniques. You know, your macrame, your polymer clay, everything really.
I just think it's so different to anything we've ever seen here.
It really is, isn't it?
Let's get started. I can't wait. What do you do first? And don't worry, we'll give you the price tags for all of the elements. We've got another starter kit to give to you. You've got your tools, and now you're ready to start adding. Where do we go?
Well, we need to start with the other starter kit that's got our aluminium in there and our pens.
Okay, so we're going to give you the details for that in just a tickle. We'll get it over. So you are now. What are these elements here?
This is what comes in the starter kit. Yes.
Okay. So talk us through that.
Okay. This comes in your other starter kit. So you've got your pre-anodized aluminium, and
what does that mean, pre-anodized?
Right. Anodizing is the process that the metal has undergone in order for it to take the colour that we're going to apply to it.
Okay, because otherwise it would just sort of spill off it, wouldn't it? It would resist it.
That's right. That's right. So your anodised aluminium will come in this form, all wrapped up and sealed in packets.
Okay.
And the reason for that is, and the reason why I'm wearing gloves, is because you must never touch this with your fingers, because our hands have natural oils in them,
of course,
which would then distort the actual colour dyeing process.
It would stop it from going, because oil is a barrier, isn't it?
You would get fingerprints and such like imperfections in your finished jewellery. So it comes like this. Okay, so you've got in here, is this a bag of pendants? So I don't want to touch those, do I? Because I've got gloves here, so talk us through. Okay. You get your, I'm touching this one obviously, but it's out because it's for demonstration purposes. So this would be something that you would cut, or would this be something you could make a pendant out of? This one here is the perfect size for a bangle, probably a little bit too long, so you can cut it down and you could have a matching pendant and earrings out of that as well. Wow. So you could decorate that whole piece and have enough for a bangle and some extras. Then you've got your sheets in here that you can make and cut any shapes you want out of that. So one large sheet. A little goes a long way? Oh yes, very much so. Well, you can see how much. Did you make all of this jewellery just from this starter kit? Oh, it's hard to say now. Possibly not, no, possibly not. Have a look. So you've just worked with a couple of sheets, have you? You haven't had our actual starter kit. You've used lots of... I have used the starter kit and used lots of other little bits as well, yes. Okay, so you get the two ovals, so that's great for a pair of earrings. Is this easy to manipulate, Cherry? Yes, very easy. But it'll stay firm in place, will it? Yes. Now, what surprises me is that it is quite lightweight, but I can feel how very strong it is, just as we would expect with aluminium. Now, you get the gloves, of course. For handling. Gloves for handling. So I would advise you to put those gloves on before you get anything else out on the kit. Then there's no risk of you transferring the natural oils from your fingers to the aluminium sheet, because if you do that, like Cherry said, it will distort the colour from actually transferring onto the aluminium. Because of those oils, they'll act as a barrier and they'll sort of distort that pattern. Now, you get dyes. Cherry, what are these for? Where do we start with the dyes? Okay. With the dyes, you'll get all of those dyes in with this kit. Those are really all the basic colours you're going to need to make any colour you like. And you need to make those up. I believe it does come with instructions. I've made them up in little takeaway pots.
It's kind of like food colouring then that you can buy in powder form.
It is actually very similar to food colouring.
It is?
It is. They're a very strong strength dye and they're water-based, but you don't use water from the tap. You used ionised water.
Where do we get ionised? From a normal DIY store?
Any DIY store. The same water that you put in your car, basically.
Okay.
You know, that you put in your...
Is that what water I'm supposed to put in my car, is it?
Well, I think so. Not that I've ever done it. I believe so.
That's a man's job.
Yeah.
Now, you
anyway,
get...
So yes, and I think you put about 500 mil. I mean, it tells you what mil they are for.
It tells you it will make up to half a litre.
And I think that's probably 500 mil or something like that of water that goes, but it does tell you somewhere, I'm sure.
So you get half a metre in each colour. Now let me talk you through the colours. You get your red dye. You also get your green. You get your blue. You get your violet. How fab is that? Right, now, Cherry, we've got our kit home, we've got our cutters and our starter toolkit. What's the first process?
Right, the first process, in your starter kit, you will also get all these pens.
We're doing the pens separately.
Are we doing all the pens separately?
We're doing the pens separately.
Right, okay. In that case, have you got a black pen that comes with this?
No, all the pens come together. Now what I'm going to do for you now is give you the price tag for this, and then I can give you the price for the pens in just a sec. So you've got the dies, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I'm going to just have a count of the pendants for you. You wouldn't handle these with your fingers without your gloves on. I'm just doing this to show you. We won't be using this to make jewellery with. You've got, because of the natural oils, you've got 2 of the ovals, so great for making a pair of earrings. You've got the smaller rectangle, the larger oval and the larger rectangle. You've got a large sheet of aluminium in there as well, and you've got the cuff style for a bracelet and a pair of earrings or matching pendant in there also. You get the pair of gloves too, so you're ready to go. Here's everything that you get. So try us out. The item code that you need for this fantastic kit is F for Freddy, CGC67. Start shaking up your jewellery design. Start making something fresh and funky and designer. £54.95. Now you can keep replenishing this, so you can see why we didn't put it with the tools. You're not going to need to keep buying the tools. You're going to want to keep replenishing this though. £54.95 is your price tag. Now you can start making without pens and without stamps straight away by just creating colour on those, can't you?
You could. You could. Yes, there are things you could do. In fact, you could. You would need the background dyes, obviously, and your aluminium, but you could, yes, you could do resist techniques with PVA glue. You could actually blob PVA glue onto your aluminium. And
that will stop the dye from taking, and it will create, that's a brilliant idea.
And then you can over-dye over that and then put some more PVA glue on and over-dye over that. You could do it with masking tape, sellotape, all kinds of things. The possibilities are just absolutely endless.
You're going to love this. You're going to... I can't wait to see everybody's Wall of Fames.
I can't tell you how much fun it is. And just let your imagination go wild, really.
Now, Cherry will be doing workshops on the anodised aluminium. So speak to the call centre if you're interested on that. The phone number is on your screens right now. So, Cherry, we've got the kit home. We're talking about the pens. So why do we need pens? What is their function with this kit?
Okay, these are basically graphic design markers.
Okay.
And they are solvent based. So whereas your dyes are water based.
Okay.
So the water based dye will resist these. So you would background colour them. You can use these for stamping with. And then you over-dye over the top of them. And
the dye won't take where they... So if we got a piece of jewellery...
All of it, really. All of it.
Because I can see where you've used it on yours with the pen there.
Yeah, I have. And I've coloured in. So I'm going to show you how to do this, actually. This one I'm going to show you how to do. But if you can see where I've stamped, and I've perhaps done layers of stamping, you can see that.
There you go. Have a look.
So I'm going to talk you through how to do this one.
Now we get 5 pens in the bundle, Cherry.
Yes.
So can you talk us through the colours? What comes with? Why do we need 5?
Well, it's just a nice mixture. You've got a black there, which I think is invaluable. Really,
Can I
really
just
useful.
ask you, are these two ends?
Yes.
Why have we got two ends? Can we take them off and show everybody?
I will, yes. You get a fat end,
Yeah.
which is absolutely ideal for when you're colouring your rubber stamps or your stamps.
Okay. Oh, so you colour in the rubber stamp and then you stamp over the top?
Absolutely.
And it won't dry out in between colouring and stamping?
No, that's what they're designed for.
This is so exciting.
So that's great with a wide mark for that, or you might be wanting to do some stripes or anything that you need a
So it's all freehand, you do a lot of this freehand?
And you've got a fine one for doing finer things with.
So your fine nib there, so if you want to create the finer detailed pieces, if you want to do like the crisscrossing that you've done.
Yeah.
So what colour is that?
This is a black.
Okay, how do we see what colour? Oh, it's on the end. So you have a look on the end of the pen there, that it says the colours. So you've got the black, you've also got, so they're all the same. This is a blender. What do we need a blender for?
Right, a blender's really useful. You get these in a lot of the starter kits that we a lot of the pen graphic marker pens. So it's really good for blending two colours. So if you wanted to do a series of striped lines and then blend them so that the colours blend in together really nicely. That's
like
a lovely
watercolour kind of effect.
Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely effect. And
like
really,
the reds
really
into the yellows create that sunset look.
Yes, very much so, very much so.
And you've got the red and yellow there, of course, and then you've got the blue. So we keep them nice and still. There you go.
Using your blender, you can actually make quite a lot of colours out of those.
Fabulous.
Really useful. But of course, using these in conjunction with the background eyes, it's just limitless and endless what you can do with them.
So the black comes with, you are getting 5 pens, not 4.
Yeah.
Let me show you. Here's the colours. And they've got the fine nib and the fat nib on the other end.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you a wicked price tag. These are the starter pens, £17.95. Think about where else you could get these, and you have to buy them individually. They can be really expensive, can't they?
Very expensive. They can indeed.
Well, in fact, they're quite hard to get hold of some of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, and as I say, yes, they can be very expensive, but invaluable. You will be needing those.
Aren't they fab? £17.95. So these are an addition, not an essential, but an addition. Maybe you want to start with the starter kit, and as you get familiar, you then start thinking, you know what, I'm ready to add the pens. If you want to get it all, grab it all now, and you're ready to go with all those different designs, then do that as well. Now, I know that you got a kit together for yourself. You've been searching and searching and searching for this. Did you get everything straight away, or did you sort of drip feed yourself with this?
No, I agree. I mean, you do really need it. I would say get those at the same time.
You would?
I would advise it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to be wanting to do stamping, and you can make your own stamps. You can do all kinds of things.
Oh, I love that. See, that's what I would do. I'd be stamping with this.
Yeah.
I'm rubbish at freehand. I would definitely stamp.
Yeah.
What do you use, your Lisa Palvelka stamps, those kinds of stamps with these?
You could do. I will later hopefully be bringing out a range of stamps just for the jewellery.
Just for this, but for the moment, you can grab the Lisa Palvelka stamps that are on our website, or the Natalia stamps.
I think
you could
they're
use
actually
those.
for polymer clay, aren't they? I'm not sure that they're actually designed for...
What, the Lisa Palvelka?
Yeah.
No, you can use them for lots of different things, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started.
Right, okay. Let me show you. Let me take the black one.
Okay.
And I'll show you how I've made this piece of jewellery that that I'm wearing now.
Okay.
So if I take one of these smaller pieces...
So you're creating the 3 hearts that you've got?
Well, I'm just going to show you how I've decorated it.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a piece of the aluminium. Now, I think it's a good idea to plan your designs on a piece of paper first and decide what you're going to do, and be absolutely sure, and colour them, and just have a really good play on paper before you decide what works for you.
Okay, yeah.
Basically.
Maybe have a look. So if we pop it about there.
Okay.
There we go.
A little bit of... Right, so I'm actually going to pop one of those pieces of paper
You've done your
it.
dye ready. Is that on the side ready?
That's on the side ready, waiting. I've mixed all my dyes.
And that'll keep. What if I don't use all the dye, Cherry? Can I keep it in a bottle?
Just pop the lid on.
Would I need to put it in the fridge or anything like that?
No, not at all. You need to keep them quite warm, actually.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start by making a random pattern. And as I say, draw out the shapes that you're going to...
Have a little play around, a doodle.
A doodle and a play and find what works for you.
Okay.
And this is a very, very simple technique that I've just done There is a name for it actually.
Swirly whirlies. Swirly whirlies, that's the name for it, my babs.
So.
Oh, do you know what? I was saying I'm rubbish at freehand. I reckon I could do that.
I think anyone could do this. It's one of those things that kids do all the time.
It's just a regular doodling, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've started off with that.
Okay. Where do we go now? That was easy peasy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Next thing I'm going to do is perhaps fill in some of these little black areas.
Yeah. I can see this is exactly what you've done.
Yeah.
On your hearts now.
Yeah.
This is sort of the sort of thing you do in art at school, isn't it? Can you remember that?
And then we just keep going, filling in some of the little shapes, tidying it up as we go along, make sure we're happy with it. And then whilst I was at it with the black one, I've perhaps chosen some of these shapes to put some stripes in. Like so. Nothing that, you know, everyone couldn't do. Really.
I can even do that, Cherry, to be honest.
I'm sure you could.
Ed's saying even I could do that.
Yeah.
It's so much. Can you like do initials and things if you wanted to?
You could do absolutely anything you wanted.
I'm just thinking, you know how you do name cards at weddings or personalised things? That would be quite a cool thing to do, wouldn't it?
Little
name cards.
It would.
Because they're so expensive, things like that, aren't they?
They are, and then I'm just going to colour some of them.
So you're colouring it in?
I'm colouring some of them in. It'll colour. Well, what will happen is I'm going to, excuse me, over dye over this.
Over dye over it. So will it change colour a little bit?
It will change colour, yes.
It will sort of, it'll become sort of more copper, yeah, anodised. It will anodise,
no,
clues in the title.
No, it is anodised. It will just take on the colour of that dye over the top of these colours. So you'll see what happens. We'll get there. Let's just do a few yellow stripes. And let's pick blue as well. So
I love this. Isn't this exciting?
It's so exciting, and just see what happens and how it's going to come out.
So just run with your imagination. Think about, you know, doodle, do some patterns and just go with it. And you know what, if you make a mistake, go carry on with it. I actually think, Cherry, sometimes when things aren't going as planned, stick with it, and then afterwards you're like, wow, I made the most incredible piece of jewellery. What didn't come out as planned, it came out even better. I love that, happy accidents, I call them. Yeah,
definitely happy accidents, definitely. I'll just do a couple more of these and then we'll put it into the background dye and see what happens.
So these are kind of wiggly.
Just playing, yeah, wiggly. Just playing, really.
That looks kind of modern art, doesn't it? It looks a bit Andy Warhol from here. And actually, you could create something a little bit pop art, couldn't you, with this?
Yeah.
Wow.
With a couple of little blue bits and then we'll pop it into the ink and see what happens. I've chosen colours that are going to work with a green ink, green dye, sorry. Let's see what happens now.
Let's see what happens next then. I can't wait, I'm on edge here. Right, so what are you doing?
So now, I'm going to pop it into my dye bath.
Cherry, does it have to be in a plastic container? Are we looking for something that will resist staining? Or if you had an old ceramic bowl, would that be all right that you didn't worry? It doesn't matter to you?
Well, the thing with these is you can pop the lid on and it's not going to evaporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to waste anything, is what I mean.
You've had to pay for it. You know, you want to get your maximum out of it, and you need it to be big enough so that you can put the piece of aluminium that you're working in into the bath and totally submerge.
Okay, so you're going to immerse that into. How long are we keeping it in there for?
Depending on what effect you want.
Oh, it's like a dark room.
You want, I know. Depending on what effect you want as to how long you're going to keep it in there.
It's like forensics.
Yes. You could keep it in there for up to 20 minutes, say, for a nice deep finish.
Up to how long? 5 minutes?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay, so this is... I thought you were going to say to me overnight or something.
No,
this is way quicker than I even imagined.
Definitely. But if we take it out now and see how we're actually going with it, how much
No,
the colour
you
has
don't.
to
You're not worried about tweezers. You've got your gloves on.
Yeah, I've got.
They're just regular gloves, aren't they? There's regular latex gloves.
In fact, I'm going to pop it in for 1 minute while I get a piece of kitchen roll.
Have things like kitchen roll handy.
And I would recommend
spillage.
also wearing an apron while you're doing this as well. Yeah.
I don't even have an apron. I'm going to go and buy one. I should. No.
Actually, I had to go and buy one.
No, I don't. I never use aprons.
No,
really.
we're not very good housewives then, are we?
I should.
Now, I've got a very pale green.
I love that.
Let's show you this properly.
Do you know, that is so Andy Warhol, darling.
I'm wiping all the excess ink off, but because I haven't left it in very long, can you see what we've got here?
Now, the longer you leave it, the deeper the colour will
The deeper
appear.
the colour will... I can never work out how to that.
There you go.
The deeper the colour will go. And there's lots of things you can do with this. You can actually do dip dyeing as well. So you could dye... Yeah, you could dye a piece of aluminium in green and then stand it in the blue up to about halfway. And
If you had your handy or something, you could do it with that.
What's a handy?
You know, the little pinchers. They've got it's called something else, but it's got the clamp.
Oh, yeah, you don't need that.
You don't? You could just, what would you do?
You just hold it in there, stand it in there for a little bit, and you'll get a graduated effect.
Oh, I like the idea of that. And
so
then could you tip it? On the other side, you could do a different colour. You know, if you wanted blue on this side and then you still had up here, you hadn't done anything with it, you could take it to the other side, flip it over,
absolutely. Yeah,
could you do that?
Yeah, definitely.
How wonderful is that?
And you could also use this with a paintbrush and paint it on, and then you can mix your colours actually on the aluminium and just leave it to soak and dry so that it soaks into the aluminium. So you could do that. Lots of ways of doing it, which we'll go through on the course. We'll go through all the different ways that you can actually use it and work with your painting and colouring techniques.
Fantastic.
Now then what you do, then what you do is you leave your finished pieces onto a nice piece of paper, and still wearing your gloves at this stage, you then need to seal this aluminium so that the colour is dye fast, basically.
Okay, so it won't run or anything like that.
Yeah, it needs to go through a sealing process.
How do we do that? Where do we get the sealing from?
Very simple. What we do is we steam it, which I actually have a food steamer at home that I went and bought.
Like a three-tiered steamer kind of thing?
Yes, and well, a three-tiered one means you can hold a lot of pieces. And you simply steam it for 45 minutes. Now, you could do it in your saucepan at home, but obviously don't use those saucepans ever again for cooking with, but you could make a kind of bain-marie with a saucepan.
So don't worry about... Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
What about steam from a kettle or an iron or something like that?
No, it needs to be a consistent steaming for that amount of time so that the steam can work all over the actual metal.
Okay, so don't blast it. Like, so I couldn't hold an iron over and press my steam button.
And anyway, you wouldn't want to do that.
This is the sort of stupid thing I would do.
You wouldn't want to do that for 45 minutes. And
Not really. I don't want to... It would be the only ironing I'd ever done.
Right. Lucky you. So you put it into your vegetable steamer and set it for 45 minutes, or steam it in a bain-marie in your saucepan for 45 minutes.
Okay, great. What about you can't microwave steam or anything like that? You wouldn't want to do... No, because it's metal. Of course you can't do that. I once made the mistake of trying to dry my phone in the microwave. It wasn't...
No.
I never used the phone again.
Let's say that.
I dropped it. I was doing the washing up, which is something... I don't even know why I was washing up because I got a dishwasher. I dropped the phone. And then I put it in the microwave. My instinct was straight away microwave. Of course it went... And I was like, oh no.
I have to say, I have washed my son's iPod in the washing machine. I was not very popular.
Oh gosh, isn't it funny the things we do?
I know.
Especially me. How can you believe I've survived this long on my own? I mean, come on. Now, so you've steamed. What happens when you steam it? Does it appear different?
No, it's just going to... No, it doesn't, in fact.
It just seals.
It's sealed, and the colour is then not going to go anywhere. So you then can't wash it off. You can wear your jewellery in the rain. It's not going to wash off. It's not going to fade or diminish in any way. So it's then sealed in. And it's sealed into the metal, and it's not sitting on top of the metal, which is brilliant.
Now, Terry, we've got a pendant here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and thinking, well, I want to put holes in it and add it to a jump ring or something. How on earth would I do that?
Right. What I'm going to do is put that to one side because it's not sealed. So that needs a ceiling.
Okay.
And I'll move this out of the way.
While you're doing that, Cherry, can we just have a little look at the jewellery that you can create with this system? So I think the proof is in the pudding. You've got to see what you can create with this. I mean, come on, look at this. It looks so oriental, it looks amazing. It looks expensive, it's flamboyant, it's got personality, and quite frankly, it's extremely different to any other system we have. It's not like clay. It's not like anything in fact. It's a totally unique category of jewellery making. It's absolutely, I mean, look at this. It's fabulous. This is really going to push the barriers as far as design's concerned. It's really going to add a fresh dimension to your jewellery making. And I think it's going to inspire you even more, because sometimes we've been doing the same thing over and over again. You know, you sort of think, I need something else.
Yeah, you're ready for
something.
A fresh challenge.
Yeah, and this has got to be it.
And the thing is with this, as we go on with it, there are lots and lots of possibilities and different ways. This is by no means the only thing you can do with it. We're going to move on from here in the future and do lots of other things with it, all kinds of things we can do with it.
So, Cherry, we're now looking to put holes in the jewellery to create. So, for instance, if I wanted to make it, because I said to you about this bracelet, and I love it, I want to buy this from Cherry, and I said to Cherry, what could you put a drill hole in it and then add some chain?
Yes.
So that I can know it's secure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've got those horrible skinny wrists.
And also, you need to make all your jewellery secure. You need to actually make it up into jewellery, so you're going to have holes in it, basically.
So a hole there and a hole there. How on earth would I... This is so sturdy and strong.
Okay, let's move all this out of the way.
How on earth would I create that hole?
Right. Now we come to the tools, the toolkit. This is where the toolkit...
Because I've also got this big sheet. I'd like to have a look at how we're going to cut that as well. So let's first of all start with hole puncturing. We've done our design, we've steamed it. I want to put a hole in it, so what would I do?
Well, I would say the first thing you would do is actually cut it into the shape that you want, rather than punch it first, because...
Okay, but we've used the pendant on there, haven't we? So it's already cut into a shape.
So if you are going to cut that into a shape, but I did just want to show you, actually, if you'd used the whole sheet and you wanted to
cut it into a heart shape, because you've got heart shapes on there.
Well, yes, I have, but you wouldn't be able to cut a heart shape with the cutters, because they really will cut in straight lines.
Of course, yeah.
So I was just going to show you how to use these tin snips, which is absolutely amazing. So if we get this to the pendant stage by cutting a nice straight edge, that I mean, I would recommend actually that you perhaps flip it onto the back and draw with a pencil exactly where you're going to cut, so that you're not having any wastage. Okay. So if we.
That's it.
Okay, about there. So let's just keep it a nice one movement. Very, very easy. Just one movement.
You could use this in card making as well, actually, probably for the front.
Well, I don't know, because I think they are proper tin snips.
No, I mean the...
Oh, these, absolutely. They would make brilliant card toppers, wouldn't they? That's a really good idea. They would make really lovely card toppers. So I'm just going to cut that into a basic pendant shape. Like so. Now, it may be...
I love that.
It may be...
I love the irregular shapes as well, actually.
Well, I actually quite like the fact that it's not totally
symmetric.
I quite like that.
Me too, it's quirkier.
Yeah.
What about sharp edges? How do we avoid that?
We are going to deal with the sharp edges, but I thought I would show you how to another way of cutting rather than using the tin snips.
Okay.
Before we do that, which is using this fabulous tool that came in your kit.
Okay.
And I have got a candle here. Yes, I have.
Why have you got a candle?
Why have I got a candle? Well, this is the wonderful tool that I'm going to use.
Yeah.
And you get your blades in the little container like this. So
you do.
How
many blades come in there?
I think it's about 10 or something like that.
Now this is great for saw cutting your... I got really excited about this because I've wanted a saw cutter for ages because I like to make my own jump rings. And this is perfect for that. If you want to make your own jump rings, you can do it with this tool as well. So actually it's not just it's a dual purpose tool, which is brilliant, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. So we're using elements now from the tool starter kit that we saw at the very beginning of the show.
Yes.
Right, why have you got a candle?
Well, I've got a candle because I have fitted my blade into here and here.
Yeah.
And you just unscrew those two there.
Yeah.
To fit your blade, and there's another screw here, and that will actually change the length of your blade as well. So whether you wanted to work with it shorter or longer. So I've screwed those in and actually attached this and screwed it in, and just remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
I always do that.
I know, it's really useful, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
That's it, yeah. And then I've got a candle for just going over my blade with.
And what's that going to do, Cherry?
Well, it kind of lubricates the blade and actually makes it easier. And this is great when you're doing your jump rings as well. I'd always recommend a little bit of candle wax on there too, just to make it a bit easier to use.
Yeah. Well, but it'll still saw cut nicely with that.
Yeah, it makes it easier. It's better.
Oh, okay.
Helps.
So where are we going?
So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of how to actually cut using the vise.
Is this why I wondered why we got this little baby?
Using the vise. Now, if you wanted to make round shapes, if you didn't want just straight edges, if you wanted to make
I do want round shapes.
But I'm just going to cut across there just to give you a quick demonstration
of how it actually, how brilliant
it works.
It cuts.
So this has been clamped onto your table. Very simple. You can see it's just one clamp. Very simple. With this part sticking out here. And this is actually the part that you're going to rest on and work on.
Okay.
So I'm right-handed, so this is how I would do it. I would hold the piece of aluminium onto the actual
and at this stage, it doesn't matter if we're touching the metal, because you're doing this after...
After it's been sealed, so I've taken my gloves off.
So do your sealing before you cut the shape of the pendant. And the reason you want to do that is because of the risk of transferring natural oils from your fingers to the aluminium. You don't want to do that, so you do your patterns and your dyeing first, your shaping and making of your pendants will come after. So you can see now the saw cutter.
You can see how quickly it's going through and how easily. And I could have drawn on here a shape that I wanted to follow, and I could very easily follow it by manoeuvring it around on here.
So this is a precision tool, Cherry.
It is a precision tool. It's for when you don't particularly want straight edges.
Cherry, you're not putting a lot of pressure on there.
Not at all, no.
And that's important actually, because you don't want to, when you go to school and you work with wood and stuff, you knack yourself out after about 2 centimetres, don't you?
Well, I'm not a strong person. I'm not physically strong. And this is just really is.
I am quite a sturdy girl, but I still can't,
This really is amazing. Very, very simple.
So you're creating a curved line?
I'm creating a curved line, yeah.
We'll show that in just a sec.
If you actually wanted to, as I say, put a pencil mark and follow your pencil mark, you just manoeuvre it on the actual clamp here.
You don't need to wear goggles or anything like that?
Well, it might be advisable to perhaps wear a mask if you're going to do this a lot because of the little bits of aluminium.
Yeah, always think about safety in your home and things like that. And of course, be careful when you're using these tools around children. So there's your curved line.
There we are. It's fallen onto the floor.
This is a professional tool, so don't forget that these are blades that cut. These are extremely professional precision tools, so do consider that when you're using them. And always store them away in a safe place as well, where the kids can't get to them. I don't need to tell you that. I just have to. Yes. So you've got that curved line. So if you want to create the hearts and things like that, you can do. I mean, how incredible! Now we were talking earlier about softening the edges, weren't we? So how do we do that now? now?
At this point, the aluminium is very sharp.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and it would cut you, so you need to be very careful.
Be careful. And again, of course, with the kids as well, that's important, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And you wouldn't want that in your jewellery.
I know exactly what my kids are like as well. They'd be like, let's have a look.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want this in your jewellery at this stage.
No, because it'd be sharp.
It'd be too sharp. So you get in your starter kit, you get your files.
Yeah, I saw that. You had all those filing tools.
Yes.
Do you remember I'll go and grab those in a sec. Have a look at what Cherry's got, and I'm going to go over and grab those filing tools. So Cherry, we're looking at curved lines here as well, and you're going to do what at this stage?
I'm going to soften all these edges very quickly and easily, and you'll be surprised how easy it is. I would actually go over them with the file first, just briefly. We don't need to open them now, but I would go round them with the file first.
Okay, so that's with the 12-piece needle set. Now, these are all different sizes, obviously, for your precision. It depends on your... I mean, 12 individual filing tools is amazing,
so
isn't it?
you can get into little tiny places and curved edges and things like that, and they are jewellery ones, so that's great. But for these purposes, I won't actually bother with that stage. After that, after I've filed slightly, you don't need to file very much.
So we're saying that you've already given them a little bit of
a file with those, yeah. I'm then going to use some cut and dry paper, which is like the extremely fine sandpaper, which you can get from any of your DIY stores, basically.
Fab.
And then you'll see how quickly I'm just going to gently rub the edges.
And that's not going to tarnish your patterns or anything?
Not at all, no, because it's now sealed into the aluminium. I'm going to go over this corner here and start going over the edges, and it literally takes seconds.
And don't forget your 12-piece filing tool, your filing needle set comes with your starter toolkit, along with those professional cutters. There you go, there's everything, and your saw cutters and your clamp. Now, these are tools that are going to see their way into lots of other jewellery making processes that perhaps you're already doing, but particularly important for your anodised aluminium at $49.95.
Right, as you can see, I've already done 3 of the edges and 3 of the corners. And how quick and easy was that?
Ed, how much is the toolkit? $49.95 is for the starter kit, isn't it? For the... All the tools are $49.95, just to reiterate. Right, okay, that's right. No, it's not, I just got a little bit... So you've rounded those edges. Now it looks nice and smooth and comfy. I can see. That looks amazing. I just love... I mean, come on, this is so exciting, isn't it? And Cherry's jewellery is just wonderful. Look at the cuff that I'm wearing. That's the sort of thing you can create. Now, Cherry, you've used stamps with this. You know when you were using the pens, you'd use the stamps instead of that?
No, yeah, you use the stamp, you use the pen to colour your stamp and then stamp with it.
Right, okay, so you've used a yellow. How did you get the edges on this?
It's just how the stamps worked out with the ink on the stamp.
What kind of stamp did you use? Did you use one that you had in your own stash?
Yeah.
You can grab the Lisa Palvelka stamps. We have so many different wonderful stamps. Have a little check of our website or the www.jewellerymaker.com if you want to have a look at Lisa Palvelka stamps, which you can use in conjunction with this kit. What are you doing with your shoe polish out?
What I've got here
I love that smell.
I know, it's lavender mine smells like. It's ordinary polish.
Just shoe polish or furniture polish? So you can buy solid blocks of furniture, but I didn't know you could... I love that smell.
Mine happens to smell of lavender, so all my jewellery smells of lavender, which is lovely.
Oh, that's good.
And then all you do, because that's actually quite a dirty process, the sanding.
Oh, yeah.
It is. And then you need to polish.
Just polish it up to a nice high shine.
And it comes out really shiny and lovely. So you see all that dirt that's coming off now?
Yeah, that's just particles from the filing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So
isn't
get
it
rid
wonderful?
of all that and give it a good old polish.
And don't forget, you've sealed the colour by steaming.
It's not going anywhere.
So you don't need to worry, because it won't go anywhere, because you've steamed it already.
And now you get a nice shine on it.
Oh, wow. I love it. Now, let me just give you another little refresher of the jewellery that you could create, because I think this is what is the most amazing thing. Look, Claire and I have already put in our orders for this incredible Oriental style cuff bracelet that has been created using stamps. And like I said, you can grab some stamps on our website. Have a look at the matching necklace here as well. So much to do. I adore the earrings. Goodness me, what a brilliant, brand new concept. I love these are like little ties. That's what they remind me of.
Yes, they are like little ties, aren't they?
Aren't they fab? And just using your cutters to get that angular shape. Now, Cherry, we've seen these earrings.
Oh yes, we haven't seen that process, have we? No.
I want to know how we create that pigtail curl.
When you've got to this stage, we've still got the holes to put through as well.
Yes, we must have a look at how you do the holes. Now, you get the hole puncture in... Do you get the hole puncture in the toolkit, or is this something we need to buy separately?
I think it's
you get it in the toolkit. Now, we were talking about how easy this is to use. Is it seriously easy to use?
Seriously, I think this is the single most best tool I've ever worked with.
The single most bestest tool?
It's absolutely
Is it really?
I love it.
Can you use it for anything other than the aluminium, or is it specifically designed for the aluminium?
Well, it's for metal, I suppose. It will go through metal, so yeah.
Brilliant.
So this is it, and you basically here you've got your
so let's have a look. Can I just grab that from you so that the camera can see it? So you've got both sides. You've got...
Well, mine actually has got a riveter on the other side, but the hole punch here has got two different sizes. The one in the kit has got two different sizes of hole punch.
So one larger, one smaller.
Yeah.
So Cherry, how are we going to use this? You just screw it down.
So simple. The best thing to do is to make a mark on your jewellery exactly where you want your hole to be.
Okay.
And sometimes I've found if I'm working with darker colours, a pencil mark or a black mark, I can't see very well. So I just use a white pen.
Oh, what, like a sort of a Tipexy pen or something like that?
And so that I can align it in a perfect place. And you can do it like this. At home, I actually have mine held in a vise, which makes it even easier.
Well, you get the vise with, so you can do that.
An actual, just a workbench vise.
Okay.
And that holds it completely still. So imagine that is in the perfect place. All you do is remember what I said about righty-tighty and lefty-loosey.
Yeah.
All you do is wind that down, and I'm putting no pressure on it. Of course, if you've got it in a vise, you don't really. Is
it that easy?
It is that easy.
Once it sort of takes, you can let go, can't you?
There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. And then just loosen
What, is it done?
And it's done.
Come on, that is what a fabulous tool.
I'll tell you what. I can't tell you how excited I was when I got that.
All you've got to do is attach a jump ring. Now, don't forget, this is lightweight, it's aluminium, so these could go in earrings.
Yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, we're going to give you some jump rings in just a bit, because you aren't going to need them, you're going to want them, you're going to just adore this, you're going to love it. Now, so we were talking about pigtails.
Actually, forming your aluminium.
Okay, so let's talk about forming,
I want to form this into, I don't want a flat shape, because I actually think it can be quite boring in jewellery to have a flat shape. I always want everything to be slightly, to have a bit of curved, because it adds another depth, I think, to your jewellery. So I've used some basically found household objects, like a rolling pin. Everyone should have a rolling pin.
And is this easy to manipulate?
It's very easy to manipulate. I used a pencil to wind those earrings around.
Oh, so you just literally... I wouldn't have thought it'd been that easy to manipulate, because it's so strong.
Now, the only thing I will say, and I will warn you, is it makes a horrendous noise. And
what do you mean?
It makes an awful noise.
What, like a cracking?
Yes, and it is actually the metal inside it is actually cracking.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You don't worry about it.
Well, you can see all of your finished pieces. None of them have got a crackled effect.
Oh, no, it won't affect it. No,
that just happens,
You just need to take it steady.
You don't need to warm it up or anything like that?
No, you don't.
Okay.
But you just need to not try and do it in one great big movement. Try and
sort of wiggle it around
with the metal so that you're not putting too much stress on it at any given point. So I'm just going to, using this, can you hear that awful noise?
Yeah, I can hear it, yeah. It's not making any effect on the appearance at all.
No, it won't.
Well, it's not loud and crazy. It's just you can hear it sort of straining.
It's just like a straining, crackly noise, isn't it? So that is probably all I would want for that, just to angle that slightly. You can see that.
Okay.
Beveled edge.
Yeah, let's have a look. So if you want to have a look at the angle of that, look, you can see. There you go. That would sit so nicely. It gives it that lovely luster when it moves around.
Well, it does, and things like there's a bracelet I've done down there, but I've angled all the way around so that it sits on your wrist quite nicely.
Here?
Yes, and the bangles as well. They've been. You get that long strip, as I said earlier, in your starter kit, and you can actually form that around here. But all I would say is start at one end and form it gently and slowly, and keep going slowly, rather than just trying to do it in one great big bend, because you will end up with a crease. So just gently form it on there, and it doesn't take any pressure, and you know, a great deal of pressure at all, as you saw. So you don't need to.
None of this does actually, Terry.
To do it.
I'm thinking this is far more easier than I anticipated, because I thought we were going to have to get the goggles out and the white scientist coat and really.
Kind of would like to, really.
It's
kind
not,
of would actually like to.
We could do that just because we want to.
I know. I think I would like to. I do like to think of my, my little workshop and all the tools and.
That's what it's like, though. You've got like dark room kind of. This is amazing. It's fantastic. You've got the die. Now you can buy both of the kits together. You need both of them and the pens to. Create these incredible designs. So the kit that we gave you involves your dyes. You've got the blue, you've got the violet, you've got the green, here's everything, and you've got the red dye, you've got your pendants. 6 of those. You've got your long strip there as well, which is enough to do a couple of pendants and a bracelet, and then you've got that huge sheet. Now, you need your special cutters in order to manipulate those and cut around those, and you need the clamps. So if you want to buy the tools, buy them in a kit. I've got the details for you. Now, that incredible hole puncher that we just saw Cherry use, which was so easy.
So easy.
So easy. You've got the clamp in there as well. You also get your filing tools. You get the saw cutter. I mean, this is amazing for under £50. Now, with this kit, with this toolkit, you only need this once, which is why we didn't put it all together. But also, you can use this toolkit for loads of other techniques in jewellery making, not just this. Now, we've also got the pens. You've got 5 different pens. You've got the red, the blue, the black, the yellow, and the blender pen. So if you want to create those blends, you need that blender pen on the end in order to do that. 5 pens. Now, these are solvent-based pens.
Yes.
And these are what a professional graphic designer would use.
Design marker pens.
I reckon you'd pay about £6 individually for those. Now, they've got the fine nib and they've got the fat nib. I'm going to show you. So there's the fine nib, the fat nib, sorry. Then you've got the fine nib. Now, I've got an amazing price tag of £17.95 for those. Now, you know what? You've created your jewellery. You've made the holes. Now, we need some jump rings.
Assembling it, yes.
We're going to give to you. Thank you so much, Cherry. Now I'm going to go over and give to you a fantastic selection of jump rings. Now, we have got for you some coil cutting pliers. Now, did you see that you've got your saw cutter? What you might want to do now is create your coil. How are you going to keep those all in place with your saw cut to make your own jump rings? Wow, there is a special tool for you to do this. It's super, uber exciting. Now, if you love your chainmail, or if you think to yourself, you know what, I need jump rings all the time, and you do need jump rings to jewellery make. So let's see, you put your coil, so say you've created the gizmo coil, you put the coil along there, or you can use round nose pliers. You don't have to use it with your gizmo. So you put your coil, and actually if you look at the diagram on the, that might be easier to sort of show you. So you put them on there and you keep hold of them. I'm going to turn this around. They're just $14.95, so you can see what you're creating. You put your saw cutter in there and you've got saw cut jump rings. So these are perfect for chainmail. They create the perfect jump ring. If you're thinking to yourself, I just want jump rings, I need jump rings and I need them now, I want to get started straight away, don't worry, because I've got some jump rings for you, and I've got a wonderful bundle for you. Now, you've got a matte finished, I've never seen these before. They're wonderful. With that matte finish, you get that sort of industrial look, which is the steampunk look. It's going to be extremely hot over the summer, and you'll create that with these. Have a look at these. You've got 400 jump rings. You can make so much chainmail out of these. You have got your anodized aluminium saw cut. Have a look at these because it's important. These are so different. They're brand new. We've never seen anything like them before. So they've got that lovely matte finish. Then you have got your gold anodized jump rings and 7mm. You've got your gold in a 5mm, and you've got your bright silver in your 7mm. They are all saw cut. There are 2 ways. Look how many you're getting. 2 ways to come shopping with us here at Jewellery Maker. You could get yourself on the phone lines 0800 644 655, or you can come through on the website or the w's.jewellerymaker.com. Are you ready for a fantastic deal? S for sugar, HG C26. £9.95 for 400 saw cut jump rings. 5mm and 7mm is what you're getting here. Try it out. Now, if you've absolutely loved this system, if you absolutely got to get it in your life, I'd grab it all as soon as you can. We can never guarantee stock, so grab it while you can, while it's available. Make sure you're checking out baskets if you are shopping with us online today. And please never forget, with every system that you buy from us here at Jewellery Maker, you'll get a 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. Cherry will be doing workshops on this fantastic system. Watch this space for those. Get yourself booked in on those phone lines. All that's left for me to say is get yourself using this anodized aluminium. You're going to love it.